I like it cut, G.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. Welcome back to another video. And I missed you guys so much. First of all, thank you so much for staying with the channel when I was gone. All of the people who subscribed when I was gone, all of the people who viewed the content, all of the people who commented, all of the people who shared, liked, absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much for showing the support when I was gone. Now, to show that appreciation and that it really motivates me, I am making this video in a bit of a hurry because I promised I would make this video. But don't worry, the quality would be the same. And the people who voted for the other options, don't feel disheartened. Those videos are also coming. So don't worry, they are coming maybe after this, within the following weeks. So without further ado, let's get into our video. Top 5 most underrated animals. Animals that have combat prowess that is not very commonly recognized. People either downplay their combative prowess or they just simply don't get enough recognition of their combative prowess. So these are the animals we will be seeing here. So let's get into it. First and foremost is the wolverine. Where the honey badger was overrated, Wolverine is everything honey badger thinks he is. He is the epitome of what honey badger wants to become. Because unlike the honey badger, wolverines are actually big enough to pose a threat to many of the animals that they try to intimidate. Wolverines are actually decently big and they have all the qualities of a honey badger. So all the loose skin, disgusting smell, powerful bite, venom tolerance, sharp claws, all of these adaptations, plus they are much bigger and tankier, and obviously more adapted for the cold where they live. Due to this, they are incredible kleptoparasitic scavengers which can eat completely frozen meat in the dead of winter, also dig up burrows to find different burrowing animals like bunnies and rats, and be an amazingly powerful predator. Pound for pound, they are one of the most powerful predator out there, at least among mammals. They have been known to clamp their powerful jaws and grip onto with their semi-retractable claws on really large prey compared to them, like deers. So if such a small animal is able to kill deer as well as mountain goats, and one of them actually killed a polar bear, so definitely an underrated animal, especially when they regularly steal food from much bigger predators like wolves and cougars. This one deserves to be on the list. So with number 5 out of the way, number 4 is bovines. Bovines are often kinda overlooked. They are often seen as these carnivore fodder where people genuinely believe that they are actually pretty weak and any other animal can just easily take them down. That's not the case. Despite being nearly one third the size or smaller than the big three animals, so elephants, hippos, and rhinos, bovids are really powerful, and pretty much only predators that they have to worry about are the apex predators. So usually like big cats and sometimes on ultra rare occasions maybe bovines, though there are no video evidence to suggest that bears actually pose a threat to bovines. Either way, bovines are very robust. They have different types of horns depending upon the species. For example, bisons have small sideways horns because they don't gore as much as they bash. They have a big bossy head that they can use to inflict blunt force trauma, as well as there is the gore, which is the biggest bovine or currently, and they are extremely muscular with really big curved horns that they use to gore into their predators, as well as the Cape buffalo, which has the gang violence mentality. So they can, you know, essentially hunt their predators to eliminate them. So bovines are nothing to be taken lightly with. So that's the fourth one. Let's look at what our third one is. That is the boar. Boars are kind of underrated because boars, often people don't understand how big they are. They are much, much bigger than what people think they are. They are not the cute little piggies you see that you get bacon from. They're actually large, vicious omnivores of the forest. Like the upper sizes of wild boars in Russia are actually a pretty big overlap with the average sizes of Cape buffalo. So definitely it's a very robust, way more robust than a bovine, and a very aggressive, tough animal that can survive anywhere. And other than like absolutely the most powerful ambush predators, they don't have to worry about anything. Like when they're adult, no wolf pack is going to mess with them. No coyotes are going to mess with them. No leopards are going to mess with them. No cougars are going to mess with them. Only like the biggest predators on land, like the most efficient ones, like, you know, Siberian tigers or sometimes Bengal tigers, depending upon the region, and on very rare occasions, bears. Other than this, they don't have, obviously, humans, but other than that, they don't have to worry about predators at all. And they are so tough, they can ram into different animals, and they have a really front heavy body plan, so they can both gore with their tusks or bite with them. Like, do you see how big these canines are? This animal, by the way, for the most part, eats berries and nuts and stuff. It's not a carnivore per se. Like, yeah, they do eat meat on rare occasions, but they are not like obligate carnivores. But still, they have these vicious tusks, which they often use to defend themselves or fight for territory. Definitely a rather underrated and powerful animal. Let's look at the next one. That is the leopard. Pound for pound, it is the most powerful mammal. Pound for pound, they are the most powerful animal, at least mammals. I know there are some insects which are way more powerful, but if you're talking about mammals, vertebrates, large ones, leopards are the most powerful. They are so strong, they can kill an animal 5 times bigger than they are and then take that animal up a tree. These animals are extremely powerful. Imagine this, an animal that can take 5 times its body weight up a tree. That is insane. No other animal can come remotely close to that other than big cats. And among big cats, pound for pound, leopards are the most powerful. They're often overshadowed by lions and tigers, but they definitely deserve recognition, and they're nothing short of absolutely brilliant predators. Now, before we move on to the number one, let's look at some honorable mentions. First of all, snow leopards. Just like the leopards, snow leopards are also often overlooked. Remember, this is not a small animal. This is a pretty much leopard-sized, powerful animal that hunts yaks, ibex, and other large mountain creatures in the Himalayan cliffs, by the way. So definitely something not to be taken very lightly with. At the same time, sloth bears, probably the most dangerous bears. Yes, they're not the largest, but they are the strongest pound for pound, most aggressive, most well defended bears that can stand up to tigers, that can square up with these massive, majestic, terrifying predators, and on rare occasions survive. Simply surviving in a land where these terrifying predators live and winning a few confrontations, even though most of the times they do get killed by tigers. The fact that they win a few confrontations definitely makes them underrated. Like, people don't realize how powerful sloth bears are, pound for pound. Apart from this, lions. I know in my last video I did mention that big cats are a bit overglazed in some instances. The thing is, though, I have a bone to pick with the lion fans. What are you doing? Instead of appreciating the animal that you love, you are constantly going around berating, belittling other animals. That's not going to make your own favorite animal look better. Lions are incredibly powerful predators. They bring down some of the largest animals on the planet. They are well coordinated ambush predators. They rule the savannah with an iron hand. And instead of appreciating them, it's constantly like, oh, the other big cat, the tiger, is weak. Who cares? Appreciate lions. I want to see more lion appreciation posts from the lion fans, where we see incredible feats of strength, resilience, agility, and skill from these majestic big cats, the king of beasts. And finally, in our honorable mentions list, the underrated animal is the golden eagle. It is the largest, you can say, inland eagle. Like, yes, there are stellar sea eagles and stuff, but it is also one of the largest eagles that people rarely talk about. People often overlook this thing due to wedge-tailed eagles, harpy eagles, but golden eagles are just as capable, if not more, of pulling great feats of hunting. They are really smart, they are very coordinated because they hunt in pairs, and they have some really impressive hunting feats because they hunt ibex. And the way they hunt it is they grab these mountain goats and drop them from the high cliffs. That is impressive. That needs some recognition. So now, with the honorable mentions list out of the way, let's look at the most underrated animal in my opinion, and that is black caiman. Like, this particular animal has been disrespected so much by the community that it has to be a crime, okay? It has to be a crime to disrespect this thing. First of all, this is the undisputed apex predator of Amazon. Not a jaguar, definitely not an anaconda. Like, look at the size of this thing. This is an actual monster of a creature. These things grow up to 18 feet and 800 kilograms. Not even the biggest jaguars and the biggest anacondas are even going to approach these amazing, enormous predators. Granted, their numbers have dwindled because of humans, but at the same time, when they aren't hunted by humans and they are allowed to reach full size, they basically live uncontested. There isn't a single creature currently other than a bigger, hungrier black caiman or the very rare, elusive Orinoco crocodile that lives in these rainforests or river deltas. And at the same time, like, look how big and powerful these creatures are. These are majestic animals. No anaconda is going to be able to constrict an a black caiman that is 800 kilograms. No jaguar is going to approach a black caiman that crossed 10 to 12 feet. So definitely I want to see more respect for these animals, specifically black caiman. Black caimans are to be appreciated. They are awesome. They are the kings of the Amazon. If you need more proof of that they are the kings of the Amazon, they are the only living predator of electric eels. An eel that has somehow acquired the power of Pikachu, and this guy is the only predator. Now granted, usually black caimans don't hunt them, but no other animal hunts them other than black caimans. Black caimans are the few animals that can tolerate the shocks and just long enough so that they can kill these large eels and eat them. It's very rare, but it has been known to happen. Apart from this, a lot of animals have black caiman as their only predator. For example, arapimas, pirarucus, piraibas, all of these animals only get eaten by black caimans. They are the undisputed champions of Amazon. Without further ado, I would have to end this video because I just came back home and I'm really tired, guys. Don't worry, I will make more videos very soon, possibly 2 videos this week to make up for lost time, and I would try to make the video qualities better. And as always, like, share, comment, subscribe, and remember,